สวัสดีครับ Greetings from Bangkok Kasit Piromya at the beginning of the month of February 2025 and the month of January was busy for all the Thai citizens, including visitors from abroad and foreign residents in Thailand. We have the New Year festival at the beginning of the year and the Chinese New Year towards the end of the month of January, and many other religious, cultural activities and so on. So it's about time now that we start to really put the act together and move forward. And this very much has to do with the performance and the leadership of the government under the leadership of Prime Minister Paetongtarn and her Pheu Thai party. The Pheu Thai party has been the main coalition partners of the current government for more than a year or about a year now. But what I have been observing so far, and I am a bit concerned, is the fact that the government or the cabinet in particular seems to be working in a different direction, meaning that the ministers in the cabinet do not seem to be having a sort of the esprit de corps, the sense of togetherness, the sense of unity with a common purpose and direction. They seem to be strangers instead of colleagues. They don't seem to be at ease with one another. And there seems to be some sort of a distrust. There seems to be a sort of a distance between the various ministers, both inside each of the party and among ministers coming from various parties to form the coalition government. There is no sense of unity. There is no sense of togetherness. And that is detrimental to the overall performance of the government. A case in point is the problems at the Thai-Myanmar border, especially on the issue of the scam centers, where there are about 23 nationals from many countries were being lured or deceived into working at these illegal scam centers, like an enslaved workers and so on. Then for the past few weeks and so on, the Thai public and the international community as well have heard about the interviews being given by the Minister of Interior, by the Minister of Defense, by the Minister of Foreign Affairs. And at the same time, there were interviews being given by the officials, say the police officials, or even officials from the state enterprises that supplied electricity across the border from Thailand into Myanmar. And all of them seems to be speaking with a different with a set of different opinions and so on, not in the same direction, and at times also were in conflict with one another. So it's about time now for Prime Minister Pan Thong Than and her Pheu Thai government take stock of the whole thing and try to rally the whole cabinet, the ministers from different parties together, to have a common understanding, to have the common direction, and to become more colleagues rather than strangers to one another. And they need to have a clearinghouse on various issues and so on. And one thing about the Thai border security, the clearinghouse or the central body is the National Security Council Secretariat. By law, this entity has the authority and the responsibility to look at the policy measures on the border security. And it also acts as a secretariat to the Security Council chaired by the Prime Minister. And this council, beside the Prime Minister, is composed of Minister of Defense, Foreign Affairs, Finance and Interior, and so on. So it's about time now that the National Security Secretariat call a meeting of all the agencies concerned to consult, to coordinate, to come out with a set of proposals to be submitted to the council chaired by the Prime Minister, so that from now on, bureaucracies, state enterprises, ministries, and so on, do not have to speak with different voices, but to speak in unison, or to have one spokesperson and one leading agency. And similarly, all the ministers must have a common understanding, common direction, and common sense of purpose under the leadership of the Thai Prime Minister, so that all the issues pertaining to the security of the Thai-Myanmar border, there is a common national policy and measures so that we could overcome all the problems, and at the same time we could cooperate with foreign entities, China in particular, and various UN agencies and so on, like the International Organization for Migration, the International Red Cross, and the United Nations Commission for Refugees and so on. So let us demand that the government under the leadership of Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra get the act together and don't allow confusion to happen again through the various pronouncement, interviews of various ministers and senior officials without a common purpose, without a common direction. Thank you very much. ขอบคุณมากครับ